Hey everybody, this is Brett. And tonight I was thinking about something my dad taught me. In fact, lately I've been thinking about that quite a bit. And it's like me to want to pass something like this on to you because that's kind of my job. And I think that you'll remember it because it's really important. My dad, he wasn't always the best father, the best person, etc. But he had his moments, and he was not a bad person. And sometimes he could be very wise, like when he wanted to be. When I would call him because I was in stress, trouble, he could really give me some good information. And so many things in my life, I benefit from my father. And so he told me that whenever I was in this stressful period and I would call him for help, advice, etc., he told me that I was in my head too much. I was thinking about myself too much. And that if I would focus on helping other people, then I would get out of that situation. And I know that a whole lot of us know this. If we don't, I hope you know now. But I think that it's hugely important to be reminded of things that are really important. And so that's why I'm making this video. We get in a state of being that is too focused on self-preservation. And I think that's why we get into our heads too much. We don't want to die. We want to survive. Unfortunately, we forget that stress is one of the biggest things, and that if our minds are just going around and around and around, thinking about ourselves all the time, then it causes stress, and then we get in trouble. And so there's a balance. There's a balance because we have to think about ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. That's what I teach on these videos. And it takes a lot of effort. But I think that it's hugely important to realize that there gets to be a point of where we need to let the universe work its magic. Because we cannot manipulate everything to go in our favor. And also, you see, we have to give to the universe in some way in order to get back what we need. Everything is give and take. And so if we're not doing something beneficial for the world, and it can't just be like, for me, I sit around here and I'll make pillows all day, and I know that people are really benefiting from them, and that's all good. But I think that we need personal connection. And I think that personal connection needs to be, of a use of our own personal skills, a use of our talents to share with other people that need them. And when we do that, then we feel better because we're not focused on ourselves, which is what my dad taught me, to get out of my head. And so that's what I did tonight. I reached out to some people, and lo and behold, one of them needed some help. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Now, I can't tell you that that person is going to be alive for that much longer. I don't know. God willing. Because she's in some dire straits. But I did what I could do, and I feel better. And I'm hoping that she will benefit from what I told her. And I think that she will. I think she has a desire to get out of the position, the spot that she's in. And so I'll just put it out there right now that I do holistic consultations and I don't charge very much. In fact, I'm generally, especially right now, willing to talk with people at a reduced rate. That's not why I'm making this video, if you're asking yourself that. The purpose of the video is to just tell you what my dad told me. And incidentally, my dad was a recovering alcoholic, and he learned these things at AA meetings. When he first got off of alcohol, he was that far from shooting himself in the head. That far. He was so bad. And he would go back to it and then get off of it. Go back and get off. And he finally made it through it, and he stayed off of drinking for 20 plus years. But he had to go to AA meetings at least twice a day, sometimes 3 meetings a day. And I eventually kind of learned why, because I bought his birth certificate online. I talked about this, I think, once in a video, but I wanted to see my dad's astrology chart. And so I went to the Utah blah-de-da, and I proved that I was his son. I had to prove that I was his son with ID, a picture ID, so that I could get a copy of my father's birth certificate. And it just so happened to have, in 1944, his time of birth. So I have everything. I have his exact time of birth and all the other information that I needed to be able to look at my father's birth chart. And I learned things about why did my father have to go to AA meetings every day? And part of that was to prove, to show his talents, his abilities, to show off his abilities. And I'm not the best astrologer. I'm just a beginner still. But he needed to be around people, and he needed to kind of show that he was the accountant. He was Mr. Big Shot accountant with money and this and that. And that's why he went to the bar. Okay? It wasn't so much for the alcohol addiction. It was because it's just like the Cheers song, the show on TV where it says, you want to go where everybody knows your name. Okay? That's why he went. That's why people go to places and drink. That's just the thing that they do while they're there. People are there. They go to restaurants for the same reason. You're sitting at the restaurant and you're looking around and you see all the people, the other people sitting there, and you might hear a conversation from them. You're picking up on their energy. They're picking up on yours. Physically, but more than that. It's more than that. It's not just that. And so people need people, especially when the energy is difficult. this is that time. That's why Christmas is at this time of the year, in my opinion, because people need to get together. People need to talk with each other. People need to eat with each other. All of these things, they need each other. And so, like, that's one of the reasons why they need each other, because they need to help each other, which is the purpose of this video, to tell you that you need to sometimes, if you feel that you're in your head too much, you're in your head too much, you're worrying about this thing or that thing, like I've been lately. I have a transmission problem right now. Okay. When you live in a small town, it's hugely important to have a car. I can get along with it kind of for a while because I have a bicycle and I have a home business, etc., etc. If I had a job in Asheville or something, where I needed a car, I'd be really screwed. But in any case, I've been in my head lately. I've been digging and trying to figure out what the problem is and the best way to go about solving it, and da 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 da. But I'm blessed. I'm really, really blessed. I have so many things. I have you guys. I have my viewers. I have my friends on Facebook. I have my memories of so many good things. I have the ability to talk with people online like this. There's not going to be a lot of you tonight because a lot of people are traveling or doing things with family, etc. But more people will watch this, and hopefully they understand what I'm trying to say, because that thing of reaching out. Also, okay, so not everyone is going to know exactly how to go about doing this. You don't want to make it obvious that, okay, I'm calling to help you doing, because I know you're in deep shit trouble. Okay, so no, you don't want to make it obvious because you don't know. You may have some suspicions of who is in need of your talents, your ideas, your thoughts, etc. But you probably don't know. Maybe not. But all I did was I just went on Facebook because I was lonely, and I said Merry Christmas to a bunch of people. That's all I did. And some people said Merry Christmas back, and that was it. And I knew that, well, that was it. They didn't really want to talk anymore, and that was cool. But the conversation led on to some other things with some people. And then with one person, it led on to a live conversation with her at the hospital. And then I was able to hopefully give her some hope. Hope. Sometimes that's all you need, is a little bit of hope to get you through. Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right. It's all right. Hi, Sonny. So, in any case, I don't have to worry about being too loud tonight. I don't think, because I don't think my neighbor is home. I think she's gone, like a lot of people are, doing some holiday thing. Thanks for the thumbs up, everyone. So today, all I've had to eat is some oatmeal this morning and a few figs, a little bit of pine nuts, tablespoon of pine nuts, I think. I think that's it. And then I was just focused on this transmission. Oh no, I also cut a whole bunch of pillows. But and then for the last 2 days, I've been catching up on orders because for like 3 weeks plus, I didn't have any millet hulls. And so that's the other thing I was worried about, right? Like, oh my God, I have all of these orders. I was up to maybe 30 orders that people had paid for pillows, right? And I had told them that I was out of millet hulls, and until mid-December, I didn't think I was going to, I might not have them again until mid-December. So that's another thing I was worried about, right? Like you get all these people that have paid all of this money in advance for pillows, and they're just waiting for me to get this shipment of millet hulls. And so I'm on pins and needles, but I kept saying to myself over and over and over and over again for weeks, right? This is building character. It's like a little patience. Shall I do what's his name? A little patience. It's so very nasally to do what's his name. And so you could write who that is, Sonny. Hey, Kieran. So if you're just tuning in, I highly recommend that you go back later and watch this video from the beginning. At least watch the first 5 minutes, because that's got like the most important part. Yeah, Guns N' Roses, but like the singer for them. The redheaded singer. So anyways, it's been testing and promoting. Yeah, it's been testing axle. So the axle going into my transmission is a big question, right? So isn't that an interesting connection? But anyway, so I've been on pins and needles waiting for the millet hulls to get here, and they finally did. And I was able to go pick them up in my car that's leaking transmission fluid on the road the whole way. Horrible. First, especially for someone like myself that really cares about the environment and is staunchly against, this dripping transmission fluid. 40 miles to Asheville and 40 miles back. And stopping to check the levels on several times on the way. Okay, so anyways, I get the load of millet hulls back, and I got to get all the pillows. For the last 3 weeks, I've been sewing and sewing and sewing and preparing all of these orders so that when I get the load, I can load them full, pack them in boxes, and ship them. So for 2 days, I've been shipping and shipping and shipping. 25 orders. Now I have 5 more. I have actually 6 more orders to go, and then I'm all caught up. But it's been challenging. It's been, pretty challenging lately. And this time of the year for me is always challenging. And most of especially for someone that's alone, single, no family or whatever, something like that, this time of the year, difficult. If you're tuning in with me tonight, you may be one of those people, because you're not at family. You're not with family. And so you might get into your head. That's the message tonight that my dad taught me, that he learned at AA meetings for 20 years, more than that. And so if you get into your head, if you notice that you're into your head and you're stressed and the wheels are turning and it's making you more stressed, then you need to get out of it by looking for some way to help somebody else. And the thing with this world is there's a never-ending supply. It's a continual, never-ending supply of people that need something. And if you have noticed, like I have, that one of the most valuable things that people need is just to talk with somebody. And sometimes you don't have to say anything because they have plenty to say. All you have to do is listen. And if you're just focused on your own healing and not engaging with someone else, then you're not getting the interaction that you need as well. And so what I did was I just said Merry Christmas to a bunch of people. I think I might do it again tomorrow. I'll just go out and say on messages on Facebook, Merry Christmas. How are you doing, Joe? Sonny. So how are you? How are you doing there, Sonny? Sonny wasn't doing so well the other day. You should know, Sonny, that I need to talk with somebody. And so if you want to chat like we've done before live, then we could just do that. But the message is for all of you. The message is for all of you that if you get into your head and you feel stressed, then you could probably help somebody else, and that would help you. This is one of those amazing pro and not pro and con, but like action and interaction things, yin and yang things in our world that all you have to do is make an effort. Yeah. And that being said, I think that that's all I really want to say tonight. I hope that you are well, and I hope you have a really nice Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thank you, Sunny. You too.